This episode today is on how to get a top tier girl. They're going to be discussing the traits, and I'm going to give them a little feedback and tidbits, and let's see what we got.
Sorry, Edith. How do you get a top tier goal? Number 1, get in shape.
Yeah.
Number 2, get rich. Number 3, don't be a dick.
Good advice. So the second one, get in shape. I highly recommend. Like the first thing, strongly recommend for young guys. Like, for the love of God, get in shape. It'll never be easier. You'll never have more time. I had one of my sales guys who I said, dude, I don't see you at the gym.
One of the most important attributes of your life. As you become older as a man, you won't have the same energy that you used to have to do the things that you love to do. Whether it's waking up, whether it's going out, whether it's having fun with your friends, your body is a temple and you must maintain it. It must be sacramental to you. It must be something special. You need to take your health extremely serious, especially within this dating market where you are against the entire world. So you need to be the best version of yourself that you can be.
And he said, I'm just really busy. And I just looked at him and I was like, you will never have more time and less responsibility than you do now. So I kind of used the James Clear thing. I said, hey, if you can't make it work now, accept that you're never going to be in shape for the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. He was like, whoa. I was like, think about it.
Rid yourself of
right.
desire.
Yeah. I was like, you're just never going to be in shape. He was like, well, I was like, right. So do it or don't, but stop wanting it. And so, back to that point. So I think that getting in shape just dramatically enhances the people that you can hang out with. Like, and I have this belief from humans in general. All humans at ideal body weight and like normal levels of musculature are almost all attractive. Like at like a 1 or 0 binary scale of attractive, like almost all humans are, just purely physically. And so like, just don't have that be a constraint for you. Like, don't have it be a negative at the very least, right?
I've got this limitation and that limitation and another limitation. It's like, okay, are you just adding another?
Yeah. I think Peterson said something like, they say they're depressed. He's like, well, you're living in your mom's basement, you're unemployed. He's like, you didn't give yourself a chance. Now, if you're in shape, you're rich, you do all these, you've achieved whatever you've achieved, doesn't have to be rich, but you've achieved whatever you want to achieve. If you're still depressed, then we can talk about it. But until then, you haven't even given yourself a shot. I can't find girls. Well, are you any of these basic things? No, well then do that first.
Is that you need to get the basic fundamentals of who you are within yourself first as a man before you go out hunting, which is basically claiming your glory, getting the confidence to hunt within yourself and to push yourself within the jungle to become the lion, the king within yourself. Because it's either you are the hunter or the one that becomes hunted. That's why it's a dog eats dog's world. So it's like, as Jordan Peterson said, you didn't even give yourself a chance because you need to work on who you are before you go out and get what you want. And the basic necessities of being a man, health, wealth, guidance, spirituality, groundedness, sub-communication, social skills are extremely important because these are the fundamentals that are going to build the building blocks of your life.
The rich thing is more, obviously for me, I think Professor G. Galloway said this. It's more about the signal that you have the ability to gain resources more than having them. And so like, if you think about trust fund kid, now there is the element of having money, which does, for sure, there are girls who just want the money. But if you compare that to the young, hungry guy, I don't know if they win in a head-to-head, right? And so
it's the same reason that the starving artist sleeping on his friend's couch, but who's got lots of upside potential is attractive.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's basically talking about substance and who has the most potential to grow. So they said, for the example, the guy who's a trust fund kid who already has money, but doesn't really have character or persona or grit, versus the guy who's a starving artist, a rocker, a guy who's an entrepreneur who has ambition, has that personality to him that's indefinite from anyone else, that is different, that is a special type of energy that makes him unbelievably attractive, like double the amount, because people, men and women alike, can sense that he has grit and he has this energy to him that's equal to magnetism. So it shows that if you have that push, that grit, that aura within yourself, you will become attractive on a universal scale.
fucking has one guitar and a pair of boots to his name. Like, how is that? Well, yeah, but
so did Dylan.
look at the predictors that I'm seeing here. Look at the fucking early onset alarm warnings of something potentially great in his future.
Yeah. So get in shape, signal that you are ambitious and that you plan on pursuing whatever it is that you're going after. And then finally, it's just don't be a jerk. Like, I'm not saying you have to be the world's sweetest whatever, but just don't be a dick. If you do those three things, like, you'll be able to get whatever girls you want.
What does don't be a dick consist of?
Great question. So it would probably be the behaviors that So that is a bucketed term for many behaviors underneath of it. That basically would just decrease the likelihood that a girl would want to continue to fraternize with you. But like, specifics like, and I think that'll also depend on the girl, to be real. Some girls might prefer this. So whatever your target girl is, she probably has a bucket of behaviors. Now that's different than do what she wants. Very different. Is there something that is non-negative to me that is beneficial to her? Do as many of those things as you can.
It's interesting as well that
the values and attributes of a person. Who you going after? What are their morals? What are their values? What do they like? If someone's into art, if someone's into music, if someone's into intelligent conversations, you go and pursue those attributes and you speak about it, which will gain rapport and build trust and communication between you two. And when he talks about not being a dick, he's not just saying like, don't be a douchebag, but you can be playful in a respectful way where she sees that you're not like an easy guy. You're a guy with edge. Edge makes you attractive. A dick is just a piece of shit head. And when he said signal ambition, that they can feel the fact that you are relentless in your path of glory to become a man and achieve your greatness.
Means you need to ensure that the kind of girl that you want to be with and the kind of behavior that you want to have around her will often align, because those two things might not. You might want to be a really distant, I'm just going to work on myself kind of guy, but you might want a very forthcoming, very caring sort of woman, and you have really reduced down your mating pool if those two things don't tend to correlate, and I'm going to guess that they don't. If you want a really forthcoming, very caring woman, I'm going to guess that she's going to kind of expect that sort of interaction in reverse. And if you're not prepared to give that, it's like, rid yourself of the desire, or you're going to have to change your preferences, or you're going to have to change your behavior, one of the two.
Morals,
worth bringing up early
values,
if you are.
Characters and attributes. Who you are, how do you act, what do you want, how do you look is what you attract. And then you have to see her morals, her values, her characters, her attributes. And then you're going to have to see if there's going to be boundaries being crossed, if there's going to be a compromise for you two to meet in the middle and build something.
This, like, I would like to find somebody trained. This is something that worked exceptionally well, which is I think our first or second date, I just said up front all the non-negotiables that I had, which, to be clear, this isn't the like red flags, whatever thing. It's just like, I work a lot. I will not sacrifice that. If that is a problem, then this will not work, and that is okay. I just want to be upfront that these are the things. Like, I work out, I will do that. I'm not going to give that up. I will not give that up for anyone. And so, like, just stating those things, and I would say, like, because people have this, like,
and I'm going to explain to you why. The fact that you're so focused in your path and you're not willing to bend or get distracted, that this is the program, either take it or leave it, ultimately shows an abundance mindset, and that you're not needy, nor do you suffer from scarcity. Therefore, that person will become attracted towards you because you have so much ambition and hustle and grit towards you to achieve your dreams and your goals. And you're not going to let anyone stop you in your way.
They want to put on a show, right? They peacock. They have to do the mating dance, and I have to, present myself in a way that's different than I currently am. But I would say over time, the less you can make the discrepancy between how you're quote acting or performing and who you are at baseline for that person, the better it's going to be long term, because they're going to find out eventually. And so they might as well find out up front, and then you can just say triage.
I've said this a bunch of times, but
if you are performing, if you are acting, if you're putting on a show, if you're putting on a persona, a character that's not you, ultimately within the relationship, it will dissipate. And it will self-terminate, dissolve. You know why? Because that's not who you are at your core. That's why he's saying the more you accept who you are, the more you accept your beliefs, the more you accept your non-negotiables, your boundaries, your respect, what you like, what you don't like, the more that relationship will flourish, because there will be equal respect between you two, and there will be attraction because you are grounded within your presence of a man, of what you want in life.
I went through a breakup at the start of last year, 3.5-year relationship, and I was like, okay, I'm back in the dating world, very different person, very different environment, so on. And I did the sort of intellectual equivalent of a shit test, which was early on, I would start sending them Psychology Today articles and weird Substack posts and stuff, just to see, are we going to have it at some point when we next catch up? Are we going to have a discussion about this? Yeah. Because this is the sort of thing that's interesting to me. And I don't see this going away, at least for a little while. I imagine the next decade of my life, and maybe for the rest of my life, I'm going to be reading stuff and learning about human nature. And I think it's important to me to be able to talk about this with my person.
This is really good.
He's basically stating the fact that that's a part of what Chris likes. He likes psychology, he likes people, he likes communication. So that's something that's important to him and in his journey unraveling who he is as a person.
said reminded me of a speech that Horowitz gave, Ben Horowitz. He talked about not pursuing your passion as a career choice. And one of the main arguments that he makes is that your passions will change. He said the things when you're really passionate when you're 20 aren't the things that you're passionate when you're 40. And to link that to something that Jeff Bezos talks about, which is when asked, hey, what do you think the future of Amazon is going to look like? He said, people always want to know what is going to change. He said, I think it's far more valuable to think what is not going to change. And I think that if you're trying to find a mate, you really want to find the fewest common denominators, like what things will not change about me over a long period of time. If you happen to be in a stint that you're really into fencing or whatever, that may change. And I think that's where, like, in some ways, it lowers the bar for the quote perfect match, because trying to find the perfect match today versus that same match 50 years from now, virtually impossible. And so if we accept that many of the things that are surface level today are going to disappear on a longer time horizon, then there's only going to be the few things that actually matter, which are going to be, what are the behaviors under duress, right? What are the core things about myself and my behavior set that I find it unlikely that will change over a long time horizon?
What are the things that
superficial attributes and go for something that is core building within yourself, and pick the 3 most important things within yourself to build something with someone? For me, it's God, number 1. Number 2, respect and love for family. And number 3, my ambition to grow, to become better with health, wealth, and fitness.
predictive of the things that end up manifesting? Like, what is it that underpins this? What are the foundations?
And so I think that if you can, and it's probably just a handful of big rocks rather than hundreds of pebbles. And so when girls have and guys too, right, have the big list of like the 100 things that I can never have, it's like, you probably should have 3 that you must. And then kind of ignore the rest, because
so basically,
that's the game.
Telling you to narrow it down to your most prized possessions of what you value within your life, ignore the noise. And then once you find that, build with that person and go on your journey together. If you value today's reaction, I'm Coach D. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.